that's it. I don't care if you don't know too well your character, if you don't know too well the hyper specifics, or even certain contents of how exactly certain elements of combat or other elements of roleplay might pan out. Some D&D players not being flexible once they've jumped into D&D to kind of keep themselves kind of clawed at it. Either within that kind of same logic of level entry, which, to be fair, it is it is a fair argument and a fair problem with certain systems where they don't seem there is a barrier of entry, and that's and all of a sudden it feels like a heavy task that somehow the game master and maybe some other players within the group have to all of a sudden kind of have to balance out, or somehow kind of negotiate or figure out, like, or kind of manage in some way, or figure some middle ground, which I don't think that should be their responsibility. Is like, if you want your system to be more widely accessible or more people to be interested in it, at the very least you should offer them some way to kind of ease themselves into the game system, and to then kind of show them like the very basics. I'm a big proponent personally on the learn as you play. Like, as long as you get like a general grasp of what is the main aspect of how you decide outcomes, within the game system, like what are like the general rules of play. That's it. I don't care if you don't know too well your character, if you don't know too well the hyper specifics, or even certain contents of how exactly certain elements of combat or other elements of roleplay might pan out. That's completely fine. That can be learned and through the game, because you're gonna hit whenever on a case-by-case basis. Like, whenever you're gonna head to yourself with a scenario where you're not aware of what you're doing, you just that moment could be like a pause, and where we can quickly explain, then get back into it. So but and at the same time, you immediately have the feedback of, you realize what you're doing because you're also within an exemplified scenario while you are given that ruling. So it's solidifies that information is more solid in your brain at that point, because it's more important to practice or to somehow put in use what you're learning as you are learning it, than just simply reading it off and hoping that you memorize. Like, no, actually putting your gears into motion and trying to kind of actually logic out the rule, then kind of ingrains it a lot better in your brain.